Hi Aries, welcome to the channel. This is a December reading for you. So this could relate to your sun, moon, or be your rising sign as well. So I'll be doing a reading based on the 12 houses. 12 houses of the zodiac, or astrology. So let's get into it here. So Aries, we've had a couple fall here. Sorry. Let's fix this again. There we go. First house, okay. Up here a little bit so you can see them. Okay, so I like to start with our 12th house. So the 12th house represents unconscious drives that want to come out. So here we have the 8 of Cups. So this is a sense of moving on. So somewhere where we're contemplating moving forward from something most likely emotional, or something to do with a relationship. So first house has to do with our idea of self, and we have Judgment here. So this could be a renewal or even forgiveness as well. Could be you're forgiving yourself over something that's happened, or someone else externally, and trying to move forward with it. Now the balance to the first house is the 7th, with relationships, in general, work, personal. So we have the Knight of Coins here. So this is a slow moving progression. It could be with someone, an earth sign in particular. Now it's upright as well. It could be work related too. I see here in our 6th house of work we have the 9 of Wands. So we're working hard towards something, and it's requiring a lot of focus here. So 2nd house, we have the 9 of Coins. So this is a very independent card, and the 2nd house has to do with internal values, excuse me, and also materialistic things. So with the 9 of Coins here, this is very good. We're feeling really secure with what we have, where we are, and we're feeling very, very independent, which is a good sign. Now the 8th house here of the world, the balancing act to the 2nd house, is the world. So this is something coming full circle, a good ending or beginning. Here I'm gonna assume it's an ending. Pardon me, sorry. So this is good in our 8th house because it's well, actually it could be that we're feeling like we have everything here already, and it could be the perception that we have everything we need or that we want, and there's nothing else that we need to do to move forward. But that's not the case. I think this idea needs to be changed. Even though we feel really good at where we are, there's always something that can come forward. If you don't feel like that, then perhaps there's some worldview that will be changed, or even tested as well, with something complete, something we hold dear. Now, third house, this is of our environment, how we communicate with that environment, and also perceptions of the environment around us. So we have the Hermit here, which is actually associated with our sixth house. Now, the Hermit in the third house, we're probably isolating ourselves in some way, and not really speaking much or very, very little, for the purpose of self-reflection. Now, across from this third house is our ninth house of travel and also of learning. So here we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So we're learning or reflecting upon a situation where there was a lot of conflict, a lot of issues, and this is a house associated with fire, the element fire, and wands are also associated with the element of fire. So this was something deeply rooted and passionate. There was some argument that was not very pleasant, or you could be seeing that external to you, and you're kind of stepping back from this fight, whatever it is. It could be very far away from you. It could just be a perception of something that's going on, and you're kind of questioning it internally. Excuse me. Now, with the Hermit here in our sixth house, so I'm gonna assume or say this could be a storyline that we're reflecting on our work a lot and focusing on our work entirely in our third house. And ninth house, we're kind of fighting ourselves and our idea of what we're learning and how it's creating a sense of something new and something moving forward. It's very exhausting. I can see that, especially with the Nine of Wands, where it's kind of like the last step before everything's done, and you feel tired. But that's the point where you want to push even harder. It's like when you train to run, or sprinting. When you're training to learn sprinting at the last quarter or 30% of your run, you're supposed to sprint full out, and that trains us to be tough and always be on our toes, quick reactions, which is good. It creates experience. Sorry. So fourth house here of security, we have the Two of Wands. So this is contemplation over something. So fourth house is security, where we go to find that security. Now we could be contemplating, so across from this fourth house we have 10th house of Seven of Wands. So this is kind of indecision, externally, probably to do with work, or even school related matters as well. So I'm just going to draw a card here just to clarify a little bit. So 4th and 10th house for Aries. Please clarify the 4th and 10th house for Aries. Okay, so 4 of Coins. So this is kind of even more isolation and even a sense of lack. So we're lacking some form of internal security for what we want to do or decide that. Now the Wands is associated with action, so it's a standstill though. It's not really moving. It's contemplative though, and it's self-reflective. You're doing a lot of reflection here, but external, I think work related. There's a lot of confusion or you don't really know what to choose. like possibly even too many choices that you have. So I'm kind of sensing that as well. Now, possibly even to do with work, you could be working so much, and perhaps this fight that you're learning about is kind of making you question what you're doing, where you are, if you want to continue doing that. And I think what even next, we have the 5th house of self-expression, and creativity, individuality, or that uniqueness. We have the 5 of coins, so that's speaking a lot of a lack of self-expression. 5 of coins is being left out in the cold, or it's also a sense of lack as well. The 4 of coins is more isolation, but 5 of coins is being unable to change that isolation, or at least the perception of that. Now, being in the 5th house, I would suggest to try and express what you want, or go through it in some way creatively, perhaps writing or something to possibly get that out. If you enjoy to sing, try that. Now, across from the 5th, we have the 11th of larger social groups. Could be friends, also organizations, and we have the 6 of swords in reverse. So we're stuck with some social group. They could be holding us back, or not allowing us to move forward. It's a very standstill, and that's what I'm getting, is the standstill. And you might be feeling like, you know, you have a lot to offer, you have a lot to gain, but whatever's holding you back, I don't think it's this night. There's no reversal here, so this could be our own internal perceptions. More contemplation is really needed to move forward and to bring this renewal that we're seeking. So let's just gonna draw a clarifier here for the Hermit and our 3rd house. Please clarify the 3rd and 8th house for Aries. Okay, Page of Swords in reverse. Sorry, Aries just got cut off there. So, Page of Swords in reverse speaks to something that was wrongfully said. It could be a message as well that we didn't really expect, or perhaps it was bad news that we received, and maybe even possibly we said something as well that was not really well received either. And this is why this contemplation here, maybe you didn't intend for that to come across that way, and it was taken in a wrong way. And so then this full circle of this experience, whatever it may have been, is coming to an end, to a close, for a sense of renewal that's being sought, and a moving on from this point. So I'm going to clarify this Knight of Coins, because I don't know exactly why he's sitting there. Please clarify the Knight of Coins, 7th house for Aries. Okay, Ace of Coins. So this is, I believe this is you, or a concept that you're looking for in other people as well. Perhaps you have a business, and you're counting on an employee to help you create what you want and kind of move forward. The Knight of Coins is a very entrepreneurial card as well. And the Ace of Coins is literally a new beginning in a materialistic sense, or a value sense as well. So here we might be searching for someone as well, or reflecting upon someone else externally to us, perhaps who we said something wrong to, or who gave us that message as well, about what was said and what it really meant, and why it's important to us, and why it's creating the sense of distance from ourselves, and what kind of we held on to, what hope we hold on to, and how that created some sense of inner contemplation about what's really going on, what's really important. To me, though, these values that you have brought a lot of security for you. So I can also sense this confusion as well for what's kind of going on. It's like, why do I feel this way? Why did they take it that way? I didn't mean it to be that way. So judgment here in the first house could be also forgiveness. So perhaps we need to communicate how we feel without feeling like we're being left out in any way, because I don't believe that's the case. Maybe it's just contemplating whether or not we actually need to say sorry to someone and apologize when really you feel like you're in the right. I can sense that as well. So even if they feel that way and you feel fine, I would suggest still apologizing and still saying, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I saw how it hurt you. Please forgive me. And they can do with it whatever they want to. I mean, from this point, you're pretty self-sufficient. You're okay with being alone. You're all right, and it's just this reflection upon this person, or possibly business, or work-related matters as well. Work relationship matters too. I'm sensing, though, they're holding you back in some way as well, and that's not really particularly fair either. So if you can forgive and move on from what was said and what really transpired, then I think there's a lot waiting for you. There's a lot that's coming, and that's really what you want. You don't want to be here questioning yourself too much. There's a healthy amount of reflection, but if you start to assume that you're completely in the wrong, then that's not healthy either. So that concludes the reading for December. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you next month.